A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all, until he landed in the divine dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome in to tonight's coverage of the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series playoffs. It's round number 3, race number 2, Homestead-Miami Speedway. The mile and a half is going to put on some fantastic racing here tonight. It's Tommy Cook hanging out with you solo once again as qualifying is getting ready to wrap up. We'll put the cars on track and get ready to roll for 108 laps around Homestead-Miami Speedway here tonight. Let's go ahead and give you tonight's starting lineup. And it will be Justin Michael, who needs a big bounce back. We'll show the points here in just a moment. Scott Patton missed the race last week. He is now below the cut line in quite some way. He will start on the outside front row. Heath Smith, Mike Milfelt will be on row 2. It's Jacob Gibson back in the lineup tonight, starting in 5th. Riley Tilton will line up to his outside. Rob Haynes and James Lehman. Haynes above the cut line, Lehman below, starting in 8th. Matthew Montalbalt and Will Kirk will round out your top 10 starters. Row number 6 is Ty Young back here tonight as well, starting in 11th. Greg Mall to his outside. Jack Watson, Chris Howell will be on row number 7. Charlie Widener and Kyle Manos as well back here for the first time in quite some time tonight, starting in 16th. Chris Voiles and Brandon Groover on row number 8. It's Bill Paradise, Brad Slagle. That was row number 9, by the way. And this is row number 10. Paradise on the inside. Slagle way deep in the lineup here on the outside. Kerry Cleaver, Zachary Groover make up your 22 truck starting lineup here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Stage break tonight will be on lap number 33. Expecting a little bit under 40 laps for the pit window here tonight as we await the pace truck to roll off of pit road. Give you the weather conditions really quick here as the lights have come on around Homestead-Miami Speedway. 82 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temperature, and 86 degrees is the track temperature. Not too bad at all in terms of some conditions here. Homestead proven with this low downforce package to be a little bit tricky, a little bit slippery, and you'll have that from time to time. But this will be an interesting one here tonight. Let's take a look at the point standings. I mean, if you missed last week's race, you missed a lot. You've had a full week to catch up on it. By the way, that should say after round 3, race number 1. But Charlie Widener was 5 laps down and came back to win at Las Vegas in a race with only 6 cautions. It was unreal. So he has punched his ticket to the Final Four. Justin Michael did not get any stage points, did not finish the race. So his large advantage is now a little bit smaller. Rob Haynes and Greg Mall both led a lot of laps last week and came up empty with a 3rd and 4th place finish, respectively. They're still above the cut line. Scott Patton and James Lehman at the bottom of the running order there. They did not even start last week, and they both entered round number 3 above the cut line. So they have some work to do tonight to get themselves pointed in the right direction. But they're both starting towards the front of this field. Patton on the outside of the front row. Justin Michael won 8 races in the regular season. He is yet to win a playoff race thus far. Will tonight be the night here at Homestead-Miami Speedway? 22 drivers getting ready to go here at Homestead-Miami. The pace truck is off. Justin Michael in control of the field, and the green flag is out. Whoa, that's Patton. Oh, they are really going to stack up here. Greg Mull into the wall hard. Caution is going to fly. What a mess to start this one. We talked about how loose this was, even with cool track temperature. A lot of drivers involved here early. Big shots for Jack Watts and also for Greg Mull. Greg Mull straight into pit road. Man, oh man. Let's take a look at it here. And it's already started. Lap 1 chaos. We'll go in search of Scott Patton here. Still cannot catch the truck after all that. So that's a look at Patton. There on the outside. Again, no contact, just loose. Mall is slowing up. I mean, it looks like it's raining or there's oil on the track or something. Everybody is so loose. That was crazy. I'll back this up and look once again. Let's go kickpot cam here with Kyle Manos. He seems to get through it all right. And I mean, even before this all starts, you can hear how little he's on the throttle. Like, everybody is just babying these trucks through turn 1. What a disastrous start. Patton, Gibson, Haynes, Watts, Groover, and Mall all on pit road. That's 3 playoff drivers in the mix there. Mall with big damage there. Looking at Rob Haynes' truck, it looks okay. Scott Patton is looking a little worse for wear, but he'll at least get it back on the road here. With damage like that, it would not be surprising to me at all, and I can't verify this because I'm operating the stream here tonight. Would not shock me if Greg Mall had a meatball flag. Normally, if the wheel well cover comes off like that to where you could see the entire tire, something has gone wrong, with a control arm or something in the right front of the truck itself. So he has now gone a lap down. Boy, oh boy, messy start to this one. Did not even get down to the backstretch. If anybody's out there hanging out with us, let us know. Drop us a chat. Let us know who you're rooting for. The herd has been thinned just a little bit after that one. It'll be Justin Michael, Heath Smith, Mike Milfelt, and James Lehman. Your front four starters. Will Kirk is now up to fifth with Riley Tilton to his outside. And we'll get him back restarted here. Lap number 5 at the stripe. Smith going up top. Milfelt will sneak underneath. And he will take second away from the one truck. Three wide further back. Justin Michael will lead the first lap under green. Milfelt getting worked over by James Lehman. Or rather, Heath Smith getting worked over by James Lehman here. And we're chasing lap 33 for the stage. Lehman up the position. That's a +5 here in just 7 laps. Again, he'll pick up a couple of positions from the accident there. Greg Mall is the only truck that has not returned to the track. And he came into tonight above the cut line. That is going to hurt a lot. Ooh, that's a big shot in the wall for Kyle Manos. Sends Charlie Widener down the track in reaction to. Brandon Gruber will try and sneak underneath now. This is for spot number 8. Gruber, Slagle, +10 already. So the poor qualifying effort so far has not hurt him too much. Just missed a pass for second. Apologies. James Lehman is now up to P2. We'll see if he is going to push the issue early and try and get himself up to the front of the field. He needs bonus points. But if Justin Michael is just riding and minding his own, do you also want to ride and mind your own here? Tilton and Smith duking it out here for spot number 4. Ooh, and Heath tried to wiggle up the track there, but Tilton was on top. Couple of drivers flirting with the Reddick Larson line on the top side of 3 and 4. A couple of drivers you've seen in the background kind of getting into the wall on both ends of the track. We always mention it here whenever we come to Homestead-Miami Speedway, but despite the fact that they're identical on paper, turns 1 and 2 and turns 3 and 4 race incredibly different. Whoa! Smith into Tilton, and that is a big problem. Owen Patton, Voiles, Haynes, more problems for the playoff drivers. Well, we'll wait to take a look at the replay here before we comment on that any further. That certainly was interesting. And it's going to cost Patton and Haynes a little bit more. We'll back this up just to get the full scope of what we got. These two have been side by side for the last couple of laps. And again, these trucks are so light on their feet here at Homestead. So there's contact there. There's more contact there. Then Tilton is loose and comes down into Smith. I mean, it's hard to tell what is deliberate and what isn't just because of how dancy these cars are here. A look from high above. Smith is coming up the track, but that's more of a natural arc. Now Tilton is moving down slightly. They just converge. Smith trying to hug the left rear quarter panel, get a little side draft advantage here. Drifts up into Tilton. It's hard telling whether it was intentional or not. On either party, the results are going to be disastrous here for Scott Patton and Rob Haynes, in particular, Chris Voiles as well. Haynes, oh boy, Haynes is down on the apron. He sees it happening in front. He and Patton get together. Voiles, an innocent bystander and all that. And Patton with more damage. So a lot of drivers came down pit road, but several did not. Justin Michael, Mike Milfelt, Riley Tilton, Charlie Widener, Brandon Groover, Brad Slagle, Ty Young, Matt Montalbalt, Kyle Manos, Chris Howell. Looks like they have all stayed out. James Lehman was the first driver down pit road. He is now sitting in spot number 11. Oh boy, this has been a chippy one to start. And there's Michelle Kirk cheering on Will. Will just came down pit road. He'll start back in spot number 13 here for this restart. And we'll still have a stage caution on lap 33 at the conclusion of. There's Greg Mall back out on track. He is now 11 laps down to the leaders after the opening lap crash that saw quite a few drivers involved, but none more so damaged than Greg Mall. Again, if you're just joining us as well, we're under caution here for the second time here on just lap number 13. An incident between Heath Smith and Riley Tilton sees collateral damage for Chris Voiles, but also Scott Patton and Rob Haynes, both heavily damaged in this accident. Smith undoubtedly, I believe, is going to be out of the race. He took quite the shot there. Looked like he was trailing some smoke as he was headed down pit road. There's a look at Scott Patton re-entering the track. Looks as though he has fallen a lap down. Rob Haynes is still on the lead lap here. As we're doubled up behind the pace truck. Justin Michael, Mike Milfelt, they did some battling last week. Boy, it was a rough week for Justin Michael. Elected to stay out, try an alternate strategy with a 7-lap run to the stage break, and then ended up costing him stage points. Didn't even finish in the top 10. Was working his way back through the field into a green flag run. He got turned into the outside wall, and that was the end of his night. Very minimal points. Still has a cushion to the cut line, but it is not as big as it was. Justin Michael, back at the gas. We're underway. Again, watch the drivers outside of the top 10 here on fresh tires, but cold tires. See if they have any problems here through turns 1 and 2. Doesn't seem like it yet. Michael and Michael up front. Justin Michael leading Mike Milfelt. Riley Tilton going for third here underneath Charlie Widener. Tilton will slide up and take the spot. Still fanned out too wide through the pack. Lehman, the front fresh tire runner, pinned behind Brandon Groover and Ty Young for now, but he's in the top 10. Thought maybe he was going to split him 3 wide there for a second. Riley Tilton, meanwhile, gaining on Milfelt. Ooh, Lehman. Could tell if that was arrow loose for the 94 or if he got a helping hand. Either way. Lehman will sneak up to 6th now. Will Kirk, Chris Howell, right back to their battling. That landed them in some hot water last week. Nearly making some contact again. Slagle under fire. He's the big mover of the race thus far. Lehman going to continue to march forward as he just dropped the purple lap on the field here on lap number 19. Fresh tires for the 50. They are paying off so far. Again, we're chasing lap 33 for the stage caution. Lehman continuing to march forward. The nice thing for Charlie Widener, he does not have to worry about a thing here tonight. He is going to Phoenix, so he could kick his feet up and enjoy Homestead and next week at Martinsville, if that is even possible, to enjoy a race at Martinsville. Milfelt, Tilton, and now Lehman nose to tail, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They've only got 0.3 of a second up the road to Justin Michael. At the rate he's on, James Lehman might be going for the lead here momentarily. Tilton low, Milfelt high. They box in the 50, but Lehman will squeeze past the 58. Milfelt wiggling up the track. Lehman will cross him up. And just like that, he's challenging for the lead. Lehman up top on the Larson line. Justin Michael throwing a bit of a block, gets the truck broken loose there. Lehman going to have to go for it down low. He's right down on that paint. Looking for big drive off, and he's got it, but he doesn't quite have the lead. Good moves for James Lehman on fresh tires. He takes the lead away from Justin Michael. Take a quick look back here to Brad Slagle, who was trying to get underneath Will Kirk, but Kirk hangs on to 6th for the time being. Michael not done yet, trying to find a way back to get himself a stage victory if at all possible, and that will not carry over into the Championship 4, assuming that he makes the Championship 4. But every point is going to matter here when the next one up is Martinsville next week. Slagle now having to play some defense. He needs some stage points bad. Matt Montalbot and Ty Young are not racing for a championship, but they are racing Brad for this 7th position. Just ahead of Slagle. Will Kirk needs some points as well. He's underneath Riley Tilton. Oh, there's contact. That's Chris Howell. I believe that was contact with Jacob Gibson. Might have also been with Brandon Groover. Tilton started to move backwards here. Widener underneath. This will put Tilton back to 6th. Brandon Groover, sneaking ahead of Ty Young. Howell not too far behind. Just a handful of laps to go until the stage break. It'll be 5 to go at the stripe. Let's go kickpot cam here with Howell as he tries to move forward. So gentle on that throttle. Howell going for it. Looking for 9th. Side by side behind them, Rob Haynes underneath of Jacob Gibson. Haynes needs some stage points here after a rough start to this one. Involved in both of the accidents so far tonight. Pits are closed here on lap 32. James Lehman really needs these 10 bonus points. Came into tonight as the 9th ranked driver out of the 9 in the round of 8. 40 points below the cut line after missing last week. 1 to go in the stage for James Lehman. James Lehman will take the stage victory here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Justin Michael will take second. Mike Milfeld in third. Will Kirk in fourth. Charlie Widener will round out the top five. It's Riley Tilton, Matt Montalban, Chris Howell, Brad Slagle, and Brandon Groover, the drivers that will score some points here tonight in the opening stage at Homestead. Everybody should be coming down pit road. Scott Patton is going to get the lucky dog. That should put him back on the lead lap. James Lehman wins the race off. Justin Michael, Mike Milfeld, Will Kirk, Charlie Widener. Exactly how they came in. Let's take one more look at this battle for the lead. Lehman electing to burn a set of tires here early and get himself a stage win. Will it pay off here in the long run? Well, thank you very much, John K. Happy to see you in the chat. It's been awful quiet in the chat for how not quiet it's been on the track thus far tonight. A crash in the opening corner. It saw one playoff contender essentially eliminated from contention here tonight. He's back out on the track. It's Greg Mall, 11 laps down in the 7 truck. He's got damage. Then just a handful of laps later, Heath Smith and Riley Tilton get together. Smith is taken out of the race, and in the chaos and confusion of it all, Scott Patton and Rob Haynes both sustained some damage. Chris Voiles also eliminated in that crash. But Patton now back on the lead lap after taking the lucky dog here under the stage caution. Anybody a bunch of laps down can come back to win it as long as their truck doesn't have quite a bit of damage on it, unfortunately. That was the key difference between Greg Mall tonight and Charlie Widener last week. His good old Charging Charlie didn't have a scratch on that truck, not even at the end when he had to swing it high and low on the final 2 laps. It's just the stuff of legends. Matt and I have been talking about it all week. We just still cannot believe that happened. Charlie was like, oh, I hope we make the turn 10 at the end of the season. Like, brother, you're number 1 on the turn 10. Like, it's going to take something monumental to unseat that as the top moment of the year here on the channel. It was an unreal sight to behold. Although a John K. Championship is also up there, but not number 1. No offense. All right, James Lehman will take the inside. He'll have Justin Michael to his outside. Oh, boy. Not the bone to pick. Get in line, brother. Be interesting to see what Lehman and Michael have for one another on equal tires. Lehman got the stage win by pitting under the second caution and burning a fresh set. Green flag is out. Lehman on point. Michael down to the bottom. It's Milfelt and Kirk side by side for third. Oh, Milfelt right up in front of Kirk, and he's going to get turned. Oh, Kirk is going to hit hard. No caution because Kirk is off the track. That could have been really ugly looking for Mike Milfelt. He is coming down pit road. Oh, man. Homestead is not being kind tonight. These trucks are very loose. In some favorable track conditions, might I add. It don't matter. Once these guys get in line and get settled down here, we'll give you a look at what just happened. They're still going at it here. 3 wide. Tilton on the bottom. Haynes damaged on the outside, but will pull ahead with Watts in the middle going backwards. 0.6 of a second lead for James Lehman up front over Justin Michael. Michael pulling away from Charlie Widener. Widener with his hands full of Chris Howell, who looked to be on for a podium, if not a win, last week before the late race caution dashed that. Had to settle for 6th. You'll have to drop me some reminders of the legendary quotes. I'm sure there are plenty. I'll get something up there. Widener right on the front bumper of Jacob Gibson. Ooh, that was Riley Tilton getting up into the wall. They're still going 3 wide. Well, the pack is catching Widener here. This is Gibson to the outside. Haynes and Ty Young as well. One and a quarter seconds to lead for James Lehman currently over Justin Michael. Michael has the 2 1/4 back to Chris Howell here in 3rd. And it's good to see Rob Haynes overcoming the early problems here and the damage on that 199 to move back into the top 5. Let's take a quick peek back to Scott Patton, who is damaged but back on the lead lap. But he's not quite able to keep pace here with the rest of the field. Either that or just saving some tires and hoping to make some passes later in the run. So I think pit stops at about lap 70, maybe a little bit earlier than that. That should be able to get them home comfortably. I don't have my statistician here with me tonight, the crew chief. All right, I'm going to start to look here for the incident for Will Kirk on the restart. Let's take a look at it here. Milfelt gets loose on his own. Did not have any help from Kirk. But Kirk going to get turned there by Riley Tilton. And that ends Kirk's night, pretty much. As Kirk is not showing is on the track currently, neither is Mike Milfelt. Whenever it does that, I have to fumble around with the cameras to get back onto the track. Justin Michael is losing time here to James Lehman, and he's dropping back towards Chris Howell. He's only got half a second back to the battle for third. But again, with Justin Michael, is that a conscious effort? More often than not, it is. And he's saving up to go make a charge at Lehman here later in the run. Here's Haynes looking for fourth. There is life left in this 199. All of Canada rises to its feet as Haynes will move up to fourth. Good to see Gibson, Manos, and Young back in the lineup tonight. They're part-time here with Max V, but they're always contenders when they do show up. Lehman now 2 seconds ahead of Justin Michael. Talk about uncomfortable. I would not want to be in this gaggle right now. This is what Brandon Groover is looking at. From 12th about up to 6th. All right here together. Using every square inch of the track in turns 3 and 4. Michael and Howell just continuing to inch closer and closer to one another as that looked like Jacob Gibson up into the wall or awfully close to it. Drive faster time. He's in quite the grouping here, although it is starting to break up just a little bit. The tie running in 7th as they are here on lap 54. Pit stops in probably 10 to 15 laps. And in theory, this could go caution-free to the end. We've had 3 big incidents tonight and only 3 cautions. But the third caution was for the stage rather than the third big incident. Mike Milfelt, Will Kirk out of the race. Heath Smith also out of the race. Problems for Scott Patton have left him off the pace at the back of the field. Greg Mall is 12 laps down as they run with a lot of damage on the 7 truck. But the driver with the biggest deficit entering the night of the playoff drivers leads the field, James Lehman. Looking to really shake things up here for the playoffs if he can pull off a victory here tonight and lock himself into the Final Four. This is normally the time in the run where Justin Michael was going to turn it on if he's going to turn it on. And he continues to fade away. 2 1/4 seconds now up to his teammate Lehman. But he is starting to pull away a bit from Chris Howell, who is yet to even try to make a move to get himself up to second. Further back, Charlie Widener just got around Jacob Gibson to put himself back in the top 5. Matt Montalbald has freed himself up from Riley Tilton. Now is going to go on the attack here for Ty Young. Oh, that was Riley Tilton way up into the wall. Just as I mentioned, Michael, normally this is the time in the run where he starts to turn it on. The interval is coming down. It's now back under 2 seconds. Maul giving a slipstream to Michael down the backstretch. Clutch and coast for the 87. I thought that's what I was hearing. Trying to make sure he's good on one more stop, so we must be awfully tight to the number. And you can hear him feathering the throttle down the straightaways as well. Let's go up to your leader, James Lehman, and see if it's more of the same. Certainly not all the way on the gas here down the straightaway. But no clutch and coast. So this gap has gone back to 2 seconds now. The more fuel you have in the tank for the final pit stop, the less time you're going to spend on pit road. So there's ways to make up seconds by doing this as well as just having the insurance that you're going to be able to make it to the end and possibly do an overtime finish with some gas still in the tank. What's crazy is he's only 700ths off the pace doing this. 33.17 for James Lehman last time by, 33.26 for Justin Michael. And he was not the only one doing that. I heard some folks behind him, potentially Rob Haynes, doing the same. That very hollow thwomp sound as he drives by there on the corner entry. That's what it sounds like when there's no engine noise and it's just the air being pushed out of the way by the truck. Oh, we've got trouble. Caution is out. That's Greg Mall. Maul has crashed, and that will bring out a yellow, and that will thwart the fuel-saving effort for Justin Michael. So what has happened to the 7 truck? Oh, they're 3 wide. Maul is trying his best to stay out of the way. That's Jacob Gibson. Down into Gibson he goes, and Maul cannot catch a break tonight. Ooh. Oh, my. I think that was Ty Young. I'm not 100% sure, though. Yo! All right. All the leaders are down pit road. Save for Gibson and Young, who I believe had come down pit road already. So pit stops were getting ready to happen anyway. Rob Haynes is going to go for it. He wins the race off pit road. Michael seemingly going to let James Lehman roll through to put himself on the inside for this restart, because he could have beat the 50 off pit road. I don't think these guys are going to be good to the end. I think that caution came out just a little bit too early. I could be wrong. We'll have about 41 laps when we go back green. I don't think that is going to be enough. So, a reminder of some things coming up here on the Turn 200. Monday night, it's the Go Squadron Formula Super Series Season 2 finale from Road America. Hotly contested championship between 3 drivers. It is going to be a fun race and a fun championship battle as well. Be sure to join us on Monday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. No more Tuesday action for the Venom Truck Series until they're back on track in January. We'll be back with the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship week number 4 from Sebring next Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that will lead us into the penultimate round of the championship for Max V next Thursday night from Martinsville. We'll set the championship for next time we're on track at the Paperclip at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time here on Turn 200. Appreciate everybody that's hanging out with us here on a Thursday night. Matt Williamson enjoying some time with some family. So it's just me here tonight. He'll be back for the Monday action with the Go Squadron Formula Super Series. That means I get this one all to myself. What a lucky guy I am. So still fuel a concern. Will anybody have any tires left after this? That is the concern. I think James Lehman might be in a bit of a hole. I just got a notification that Jacob Gibson has crashed. Trying to catch up maybe to the field. And I think he's just going to bring it to a stop. Okay. So if we do have to make another pit stop, I think Lehman might be in trouble. But we'll see. Green flag. We'll see if they even need to make another stop. 41 laps to go. A quickie caution might save the field. You just don't want to be the caution. Lehman in front. Michael in second. Howell, Widener, and Montalbot now the top 5 as they continue to fan out behind. Here is Montalbot going for it on Charlie. Whoa, Justin Michael stepped it out there. And he wasn't looking for a pass. He was looking to hold on to that truck. Here's Howell looking to take advantage now. Montalbot with a slider to take fourth away. Howell and Michael side by side for second. Michael going all the way to the top. As now Lehman is awfully loose. Michael with a big run. He'll slide right up in front of his teammate. What will Michael do? He'll take it back to the high side. Lehman going low. Lehman will not be able to pull off the slider this time. Michael's here. Lehman slots in a line behind Justin Michael. New leader, 87 outright. They are juking and jiving behind, just outside, or just inside, rather, of the top 10. Three tenths between each of the top three. Rob Haynes trying to get back into the top 5. He's caught Charlie Widener. As now all of a sudden Lehman is back at it, going for the lead. Justin Michael moving back up to the top side. Just a quick little attempt there for Lehman. Nothing going yet. So back to Haynes. Riding in line behind the 95 is Jack Watts, Brad Slagle up on the top side of the track. Here's Michael under fire again. No cut in the engine this time. At least not yet. Schlegel needs every position he can get to set himself up decently at Martinsville next week. And he started at the back of this field, picked up a lot of spots after some accidents early, but he's kind of stalled out just inside the top 10 here. Widener under fire here from Haynes. Montalbald is here as well. Top three still incredibly close, as are 4th, 5th, and 6th. And 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tilton underneath. Schlegel will look to take that spot away. And here is Widener going for it on Montalbald. Will this open up an opportunity here for Rob Haynes to go for it as well? Lehman now fading away into the clutches of Chris Howell. It's about half a second behind Justin Michael now, as Widener will take spot number 4 away. Oh, but he's a little bit too high. Doors open again for the crossover from Montalbald down low. The 21 will take the spot back. Here is Charlie Widener right back to it on the bottom now. Again, Charlie can afford to do this. He's already punched his ticket to the championship 4. Rob Haynes can't afford that luxury. Pit stops for Ty Young and Kyle Manos. I'd say drivers are making one more trip down pit lane. Lehman's starting to struggle a bit. Really needs a win tonight. He and Scott Patton are among the favorites next week at Martinsville, but realistically, out of the two of them, only one is going to make it, if either of them make it at all. There will be a winner at Martinsville. And that winner might be in the championship 4, depending on who it is. Oh, Lehman's into the wall. Howell is through to second. Jack Watts has been on and off pit road. Will James Lehman be making a stop this time? And does he have any tires left in the box? That's the question. Lehman is slowing. He is coming to pit road. Oh, boy. We're going to follow Lehman into his pit box here and see if it's just a gas and go or if he has saved some rubber. Because if he has a set of tires here, he might be in a good spot. Right side jack goes up. He'll at least take 2 tires. And the lefts are up as well. Lehman triggering the undercut. Justin Michael now going to answer straight away. He's down pit road. No penalty for Lehman on entry. It was a great pit entry. Yes, indeed. So he will hit the ground running. Right sides for Michael. Here's a couple people cutting the engine here. Maybe looking to go for it. 4 tires and gas, and Justin Michael is away. As James Lehman getting the tires up to temperature, but comes out side by side with Michael. Michael will duck into line straight away. Riley Tilton, Rob Haynes, Chris Howell, the leader, is down pit road. Matt Montalbot pitting as well. Now, where will Howell come out in all this? He's already been passed, but he'll have a couple lap fresher tires if he could try and track him down. Oh, Charlie Widener being used as a pick. This is the battle for 8th for the time being. Lehman trying to get his elbows out. He knows he needs a win tonight or next week in Martinsville. He'd rather it be tonight. But Michael, winless in the playoffs thus far. Whoa, Michael, right down on the door. James Lehman, wow. Incredible offense there. He is not going down without a fight. "17 laps is a long time to play defense against Justin Michael." Brad Slagle is down pit road, awaiting pit stops for Widener, Groover, Cleaver, and Patton. Is Michael going to look down low again for some drive out of turn number 2? He's got it. But not enough of it. And that is Scott Patton you hear ahead of these two cutting the motor. He's being caught rapidly. And he is going to throw a wrench into this battle with his teammates. That is for position. Lehman to 4th. It's Widener, Groover, and Cleaver left to pit. And then this will turn into the battle for the lead. This could be the race-winning move right here. Justin Michael slides up and takes the spot away from James Lehman. Lehman going to answer right back. Looking for a bomb of his own. Can't quite get it hooked up on the bottom. But will at least be side by side. A little bit loose there. Still hanging on the quarter panel. Justin Michael going to move down to clear himself by a foot or two. Now into the draft of their other teammate, Kerry Cleaver. Zachary Groover will pit from second. All that stands between Justin Michael in the lead now is Charlie Widener. About 18 seconds up the road. Did either of them use up their stuff here too early? This is about the only battle we've got on track currently. Matt Montalban and Riley Tilton fairly close. Jack Watts getting past Kerry Cleaver, but Cleaver still has yet to pit. And then there's Charlie Widener. 21 seconds ahead of Justin Michael as they go. I mean, you could afford to try and do stuff like this. And I know I've said this a lot, but he doesn't have to worry about a thing. Why not go for something here? It's been a good night for Justin Michael, whether or not he comes away with the victory. It's been a much better night than what he had at Las Vegas last week, that is for sure. 9 laps to go, or rather 10 laps to go. It'll be 9 at the stripe here for Widener. He was somehow trying to stretch this out. I don't see how it's possible. But give it a shot, why not? If nothing else, if there's a late race caution, you can come to pit road and do exactly what you did last week, or come in as the leader and leave as the leader. But he still has 18 seconds back to Michael. James Lehman, meanwhile, is backed up to Chris Howell. Remember, Howell came in a few laps later than these two. And Justin Michael is not too far up the road here. Only about a second ahead of Chris Howell. So if Howell can make quick work of James Lehman, Howell might be in for a good run here. He's at least on for the podium that he was denied last week with the late race caution. Here goes Howell down low. So this is for third as they go. Charlie Widener is out front on a pit strategy. Coming to 5 laps to go. Howell now with 1.1 seconds to catch Justin Michael. for what at the very least could be second, but it also could be for the win if Widener can't make this work. And here comes Charlie Widener down pit road. So Michael will inherit the lead this time. 5 to go. Howell gaining on Justin Michael down to 9/10 of a second. Now down to 3/4 of a second. Four to go. They draw closer. Half a second. Rob Haynes is going to get past James Lehman for third. They continue to go side by side. Whoa, and Haynes nearly making contact with Lehman there. Inside half a second for the win. 3 laps to go. Howell is on the move forward. The overcut is the play here at Homestead. Can Justin Michael play defense here for the next 2.5 laps? Howell going to peek to the outside. Try and get underneath Michael down the front stretch. Michael is loose. Drag racing, 2 to go. Chris Howell is going to take the lead. Does Michael have anything left? Michael down low. Fighting for insurance that he'll be in the championship for. Up the track. Howell around the outside, though, will maintain the lead. New leader at the stripe. 1 to go. Chris Howell in search of his first Max V victory. Does Michael have anything left to answer? Chris Howell at a turn at number 4 will take the checkered flag. He takes his first victory with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series and denies the automatic bid for Justin Michael to the Final Four. Michael second in the stage, second in the final finishing order. James Lehman slips back to 4th. What a night for Rob Haynes. A great recovery for the 199 after an absolutely disastrous start. He will take the podium. Chris Howell was on for a podium last week at Las Vegas. The caution came out with 5 laps to go. He had some contact in the final lap that lost him a number of positions. But I think he'll take his result tonight to make up for it. Waiting for the TRD power plant to go kablooey. And there it goes. Alrighty, let's give you the full finishing rundown here after 108 laps at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Well, I sure would like to. There we go. Chris Howell with the win. Justin Michael in second. We'll talk to him here in a second. We'll talk to Rob Haynes as well. A mix of emotions between those two, I'm sure. Fourth for James Lehman. Matt Montalbald, a solid P5 run here tonight. Riley Tilton in sixth. Jack Watson, seventh. Brad Slagle will not be the big mover of the night. It's Chris Howell went plus 13. But a solid eighth place finish for Slagle. He needs some points badly. Brandon Groover, Charlie Widener will slip back to the top 10 there late in the going. Bill Paradise in 11th here tonight. Zachary Groover, 12th. Scott Patton, boy, a rough ride. He's got a lot of work ahead of him next week in Martinsville. He'll finish at 13th. Kerry Cleaver, Kyle Manos, your top 15. Greg Mall will stick it out for 16th here tonight. Ty Young will finish at 17th. Jacob Gibson at 18th. Will Kirk, Mike Milfelt, Heath Smith, and Chris Voiles, the rest of the finishing order. Rough night for a lot of drivers here tonight, no doubt about it, here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. This was an interesting one, to say the least. And one of the drivers that was in the rough night camp to kick things off certainly was Rob Haynes. And miraculously, the 199 and its driver persevered tonight to take home a podium finish. Well done here tonight. It's a way to overcome a lot that was thrown at you early in the going.
Thanks, Tommy. Miraculously, I I got back up there. Yeah, and that was a pretty rough beginning to the race there, but I don't know. I was just talking to Justin there and congratulating him, and man, I followed his line. I was looking at his line in practice, and he ran around that white line the whole race, in the corners, and I stuck to it this race, and I think it really helped. It got me a lot of positions. I passed a lot of trucks tonight, I think.
I mean, you had to pass a lot of trucks here tonight, starting towards the front, going to the back, working your way back up, drop into the back again, and then having to do it all over for a third time. Yeah, I'm sure you got sick of passing trucks there.
Tommy, that first stop, I turned off my tires, and I was gonna drop in with one to go, and I was gonna top off, but I decided against it. But I forgot to recheck my tires. So when we came in on the next caution, that was it. I didn't totally forgot. As soon as I pulled into pits, I seen nobody was working on the tires, and I was like, it's not happening. And yeah, I had to go to the back again. But no, that was a lot of fun. And congrats to Chris, man. He's super pumped tonight, Tom. You're gonna have a good interview. Congrats to Justin there on second, and Bandit Motorsports 1, 2, 3. That was pretty fun.
How comfortable are we feeling? You did everything that you could do here tonight, but Martinsville looms ahead. How do we feel?
Yeah, I think I can make it through Martinsville. I mean, getting a clean race. I thought tonight was going to be my wrecker night, and Martinsville, I'd have to really perform. But hey, it turned out all right tonight, Tommy. I'm happy with that finish. I'm not sure where it'll put me in the points, but we'll move on to Martinsville and see how that final race goes before the final race.
All righty, partner. Thanks for the time here tonight. Congrats on the P3 once again, and we'll hopefully talk to you again at Martinsville.
Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it. Can I just say thanks to Turn 200? I'm not sure where Matt is tonight, but we miss him, and hope you had a good night there, Tommy. And thanks to CNC Home Designs and Max Velocity and Bandit Motorsports. Appreciate everybody.
Oh, Rob, good on the plugs there, as always. Appreciate his time. Glad we get to talk to him once again. And we get to talk to Justin Michael for the first time, and it seems like several weeks or maybe even a month at this point. It's been a rough go of late for the 87, and we'll come up one spot short despite a dominant performance here tonight. Regardless, though, it's great to get you back in the booth. Congrats.
Yeah, I tell you, the past, I don't know how many weeks, we got a big old junkyard in the back of the house with all those cars parked, man. I think that dent's still in the wall at Las Vegas, though.
I think so. Do you have like the Dale Jr. situation where you're just going to throw them out in the West Virginia wilderness and let the nature reclaim them? Or
exactly, yeah, exactly. It makes you know what? It makes them for a good hunting cabin. I can just sit in the car and shoot the deer.
Well, regardless, here tonight you were battling with James Lehman all throughout the race. And anytime you guys get to going at each other, it is very entertaining to watch. But as you two are battling away, all of a sudden, here's Chris Howell, who pit a couple laps after you guys, coming up on fresh tires. I mean, tires were the commodity, it seems, other than grip.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I knew me and him would be pretty equal, and we came out of the pits, and I got behind him, had to catch him and pass him, and I don't know, 5 or 6 laps, we just went, floorboard deep, right? And I just destroyed my tires. I should have, after I passed him, I should have backed off and kind of let him cool off and save him up a little bit, but that was my bad. But Chris had a good run, so I mean, congrats to him. That was he didn't luck into it. He earned it. So I'm really proud of him.
Well, I mean, last week was, quite frankly, an unmitigated disaster. But despite that, you still kind of had a comfortable cushion coming into tonight. You executed very well here tonight, despite not getting the win or the stage win. 2 P2s, nothing to sneeze at. And now it's Martinsville next up. How do we feel about our chances to sneak into the Final Four?
Well, I'm hoping that locked me in with all the points that I got. So even if I finish dead last at Martinsville, hopefully it'll be fine because I don't run good there. I have the worst luck. I've been DQ'd for points before, for incident points. So if I finish, that'll be a win.
Well, we'll look forward to that. But in the meantime, it's great to get you back up here. Let's get the shout-outs going once again.
Yeah, man, you guys for calling a good race as always, and man, we always go back and watch them. And James for putting on the leg again, and all the guys out there watching on my stream at Floorboard Deep on Twitch. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week in Martinsville. Hopefully it's not a wreck fest, and then on to Phoenix, and hopefully that's a pretty good show.
Looking forward to it. Great to get to talk to you once again. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
And now we'll talk to your first-time Max V winner here in truck number 88. It's finally Chris Howell's time to be on top of the podium here tonight. Congratulations. What a hell of a run for you.
Yeah, man, it was a battle. I drove my way up there. I was speaking with Justin. He said I definitely earned it. It's one of those I suck at qualifying here, and but I have really good race pace. So yeah, it was fun. I had a blast there. Just sitting back, and when they pitted, I was like, game on,
Absolutely, yeah. You've been in the thick of it the last couple of weeks, having to battle, really get your elbows out. You were on track for a podium last week. That didn't quite come to fruition for a couple of different reasons, but tonight with a long green flag run and some great pace and a couple lap fresher tires there at the end, you're able to muscle your way around Justin Michael, which is no small feat.
Hey, anytime you can beat Justin, you can definitely celebrate, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, what are the plans for celebration now? You've got the long-awaited first Max V post-revival victory here tonight, and in spectacular fashion at that, with a late race pass for the win. We're not taking the next couple of weeks off, are we? We're gonna keep to the grindstone here.
No, I think after I get off this interview and get out of the session, I'll probably go wake my wife up. But other than that, I'll still just continue to come out and race with these guys. I've been here since they started Max V back up, and I've been racing with Justin for a while. So I'll keep coming out every week. I'm not in the playoffs, unfortunately, because of work. I've missed a lot of races. I think I've only been in maybe 12 or 13 races throughout the season. So this is definitely a good one to kind of laments my stature, I guess you would say, within the league, saying that I am a winner now. So that's all good,
Absolutely. You're always a threat for the podium, and we've talked to you a few times after the races in your limited appearances, but it's great to get to talk to you as the final interview of the night. We'll hopefully do it again here soon. But in the meantime, let's get some shout-outs for you here tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank my family, my wife, my 2 kids, and I want to also, thank Bandit, all my teammates over in Bandit. I want to also thank all the admins, James, Heath, Justin, Scott, Greg. They all do an awesome job running this league. And also want to shout out to my other teammates, because I have multiple teammates. I have some teammates down in Two Brothers Racing, so I want to give a shout out to Brad and Brandon and Zach for letting me hang out with them sometimes in their voice channel. And I just want to thank you for the awesome broadcast that you put on every week, man. I always go back and make it a point to watch the broadcast, even if I wreck out or whatnot. So, or if I'm not even in the race. So, yeah.
Well, appreciate it, partner, and appreciate you coming out and racing hard, giving us a show. It certainly was a fantastic one here tonight. So go celebrate, go party hard, and we'll hopefully talk to you again here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we can get another one before the season ends. You have a good night.
Sounds like a plan. Chris Howell, the first-time winner with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series here tonight, keeps the streak alive of Justin Michael failing to get to victory lane in the playoffs after taking 8 regular season victories. He is 0 for 8 now in the playoffs, but still, like he said, in a good spot heading into Martinsville next week. I think mathematically he is not locked in, but realistically, I think he's a shoo-in to get into the Final Four. It's just a question of who is going to join him. Charlie Widener is there with his victory last week at Las Vegas. Chris Howell, not a playoff driver, so this doesn't really change all that much. But Scott Patton, rough night for him. James Lehman had a good night, but he needed a great one. Brad Slagle had an okay night. He'll be kind of close. Greg Mullen did not have a good night, but he at least finished the race. He picked up some spots. Will Kirk did not finish the race here tonight. He is going to be in a rough way as well. Rob Haynes might be looking okay. So I think if I had to put it on right now, I would say Justin Michael, Rob Haynes, and boy, it's a toss-up for the 4th spot. Scott Patton may be the favorite to win next week on the short track in Martinsville. We'll see. He might need to win regardless. So that'll be an interesting spot for Patton to be in. Thank you to everybody that joined us and was hanging out with us here tonight. Thanks to Michelle Kirk, to John Cade, to Jesse Evans, David Tabullo for hopping in there late, and Sarah is always cheering on Riley Tilton. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on a Thursday night. Join us again next Thursday night at Martinsville. It is the semifinal finale, if you will. We'll set the championship for Phoenix next Thursday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have some action between now and then. Monday night, it is the season finale for the Ghost Squadron from the Super Series from Road America. A 3-way battle for a hotly contested championship. Catch us for a sprint and a feature at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night from Road America. Wednesday night, it's the ASRL Limited Science and Graphics Sports Card Championship from Sebring, and that will be live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will lead us into Martinsville next Thursday night. Thank you to CNC Home Designs, as always. Whether you need the modern dream home for you or just a quaint little farmhouse built in Central Florida, call up Carrie and Deb, and they will get you hooked up. Appreciate CNC Home Designs, as always, for coming on to be the title sponsor for 2024 for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Thank you to the Max V admin team, and thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson. Hopefully he's enjoying the time with his family. We'll have him back for the rest of the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series coverage for 2024 next Thursday night. That's all we got for you here tonight, folks. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Until we meet again here from Homestead-Miami Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long and congratulations to Chris Howell on his first career Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series victory. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.